And maybe that will get YouTube going. I don't know why is it. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we're good. Now we're good, guys. Don't you guys worry. We fixed it. Now it's fixed. Okay. Okay. Don't want this. We want this. And we might as well just keep the screen off while I log into my Microsoft account. Sign in now. Please just let me scan a QR code. Thank God. Oh, come on. I don't know what this new CAPTCHA is, but it's annoying. It's like solve a puzzle, and I have to line symbols up with specific orbits. And all you're doing is training their AI for better pattern recognition. What the heck is even that? Connected to YouTube chat. Sign in. Alright, let's go. Okay. Nope. Nice. Here we go. Alright. Played Minecraft for 15 hours straight with a friend not too long ago. That's insane. That's a lot of Minecraft. It does depend on the friend, though. I could probably... Online features unavailable. Why? Are you kidding right now? Hold on. Let's turn this back off. Everything is always money, I know. And I'm glad I turned that off. This just shows my whole, email address on here. That's crazy. Okay. Here we go. Now we're good. Alright. Now we can continue our exploring with probably almost no one in the chat. Unfortunately. Okay, this is crazy. Load. There we go. Oh shoot, I can't remember which way. Surely it's this way. Ooh, it's pretty now. Look at that. It is kind of sluggish a little bit, though. Oh my god, that's so much better. Look at this. Email addresses and private info, unless you mean, password, too. My email address, my personal email address isn't private info. I'm gonna classify that as my own private information. Settings. Can I get the frame rate to be higher? Is there like a frame rate option? Oh well, oops. Okay. We need to keep going west, but let's fill in this map a bit better. So this is that cool cherry blossom area. Damn. Is it saturated? It does look a little more saturated on here than it does on mine. I don't think I have like a filter on. I do not. No, it's just the graphics are way better on the PS5 than they are on the Switch. Like, way, way better. Goodness gracious, look at that, dog. Okay. I guess since we're like in the middle of this island thing, that was a bit of a fall. We're fine. Let's keep on exploring this island thing. The frame rate does go kind of potato every now and then. I'm not a fan of that. I'd almost rather it be a little less pretty and have better frame rate. I wish I could tell it to prioritize frame rate. I have it on like favor performance as like the general visuals setting right now. It's really only when I'm running, which we're going to be doing a lot this stream, so. Monster, what do you usually do in Minecraft? Because, one, creative mode is bad and inferior to survival mode. That is just objectively true. But what I like to do, I explore a lot like I'm doing right now. It's always very fun to like, oh, look at this birch forest. Cool. It's always very fun to like walk over a hill and find a giant birch forest. I find that very satisfying. And so I don't build a whole lot either. Like I kind of like just build to help me explore more. But I really like digging. I mine a whole lot. Especially like I do like really monotonous, boring, long straight tunnels. And I turn on an audiobook and I'll just listen to an audiobook for hours while mining in long straight lines. This is the best you got, I think. What does that mean? Vibrant Visuals is the default graphics mode on PS5, yes. That was what it was on, was Vibrant Visuals. Ooh, jungle. Cool. Let's figure out a way to cross back over this way. It is kind of getting nightimey. Yeah, look, I can use this ridge to go back this way. This vibrant visuals, I think, is just kind of like a higher fidelity rendering. I don't think. Oh, is this that spooky dead place? I've never seen one of those before. I do need to turn up my sensitivity. I don't play single player. I get really sad. Well, that's unfortunate. Because I pretty much exclusively play single player. A bunch of friends got together and made this realm. And so we've been playing together in here, and that's been fun. But I almost exclusively play single player. What am I doing again? Now look, you made me forget, monster. What was I doing? $200 mods with friends? That's a lot of mods. I was gonna do something. Can't remember. That's so upsetting. It felt like it was an important thing to do. Oh, I was gonna change my sensitivity. That's what it was. Let's try 75. No, let's try 60. No. Let's try 780. Oh yeah, that's a little better. Oh. Okay. This is cool this way. This is that ridge I was talking about that looks like it'll take us back. I do wish it, like, it's kind of laggy. Oh, I bet that's because I'm capturing it. Wow. You seem almost exasperated or disengaged. Are you doing okay? What? I am neither exasperated nor disengaged, I feel like. I'm doing fine. Doing pretty well. Can't complain. It has been a pretty nutty couple of weeks at work. I do layout and graphic design at a newspaper, but we put out a whole bunch of different publications as well in addition to the newspaper. Like we have a monthly business journal that we put out that is all local business news. Hello! What was that? Redeemed hydrate. I will hydrate. Blaine just needs a nap and some water. Thank you. Can't remember what I was saying. Whoa, look at this cave! Does it go anywhere? No, it's just this little cave here. Oh, actually, it might. Oh, it does go up here. Cool. I love a good cave. Look at this. I'm not risking it in there. Newspaper. No, I was saying how busy I am at the newspaper. We put out a... Whoa, look at this flowing water. We put out a monthly business journal. And we put out a weekly entertainment guide about, like, local events. And we put out a... I really want these... I'm favoring performance right now. Adjust gamma. Shadow quality low. Cloud range high. Volumetric font quality low. Reflections low. I don't need quite this much bloom that I'm seeing. That's an interesting thing. Let's say 75% on that. Upscaling. Resolution. That's interesting. First person. I don't need any of this. Uh-oh. I don't need any of this. I have it on favorite performance, so I don't know. Lowering the res may affect performance if that's your goal. Let's try it. Or let's lower the distance that it's rendering. Like, let's do 16 maybe. Hopefully that will help a little bit. Maybe not. I sure wish the Elgato would capture the freaking PlayStation, because I can't know if this is like the Elgato is like maybe the sample rate of on the Elgato is only like 30 frames, and so I'm getting it at like 30 frames here. I don't know. Anyways, let's go up this hill. Ow. So we put out a monthly business journal, a weekly entertainment guide about local events, a weekly newspaper, and then it's like seasonal, but we do kind of like for a year, kind of quarterly. We put out this like lifestyle magazine about like local people and local events and stuff, local restaurants, and that's called Charm, and it is crazy difficult to produce. It takes a long time, and so last week we did Business Journal and the entertainment guide in the paper, in the newspaper, and then this week we did the newspaper, the entertainment guide, and Charm. And so these last 2 weeks have been a slog. I talked to my boss, and I was like, how about I come in tomorrow at noon? Look at these cool mountains, dog. Whoa. How about I come in tomorrow at noon? And he was like, yeah, that's totally fine. Because we pretty much have Charm all the way done. There's just a couple little things that we have to touch up. And there's an ad that we're waiting on to put into Charm. And we're not going to get that ad in until like 10 o'clock tomorrow anyways. So the earliest we'll be able to drop it is going to be like 11. I was like, I'm coming in after lunch. And he was like, that will be totally fine. Look at these giant mountains. It's also possible that there's some kind of desync between the rendering and the capturing of the game, which would explain why you run in stutters. As it's a sudden increase of fast motion and rendering. Yeah, maybe. There is definitely like a little bit of input lag. Like, it just feels like my controller's a little like it's like slurring your words whenever you're drunk, but like the motion is just a little off, because I think it's like a tenth of a second input delay, which is not fun. How do I get up there? These mountains are cool. They're like Devil's Tower in Wyoming, which is the hello child, which is like the location for the big climactic finale of the really incredible movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Do yourself a treat. It is one of the best science fiction movies ever made. With enough time, your brain will adjust to the delay. Yeah, for sure. We got about a quarter of this map filled in so far. Doing pretty good. These mountains are so cool. Uh-oh. Just a little... Whoop. Cool. We need to go... what's the goal? We are I started this big map room in my house in the town. I can show you, Monster. I'll show you the town. I'll show you the town. Let's fill in this last little bit here. And then I'll go to the town and show you the map room. I'm trying to fill up the map. In my map room. Which is 9 of the most upgraded maps. All on a grid. So they all make like one big giant map. But it's going to take a while to fill in. You know, it's taken us the whole stream that we've been streaming tonight, basically, just to fill in this, not even a quarter of the map so far. Does the frame rate look really bad on the stream? Like, do I need to super prioritize fixing the frame rate right now? Or are y'all cool with it? I just don't want it to look like trash on the stream. I wonder if you can see the town from here. There's another little town. Oh no, the town is over that hill. Look at this cute little place. Ow. Is this a village? Looks like it. Is this a village that they haven't plundered? Every village nearby our town, my other friends who also live in the town, have just completely plundered the village. Yep. Looks like this one's been plundered. It's a sad day. And I don't even mind. Oh, yeah, let's sleep. Can I not? Okay. I would say yes, it's pretty bad. Looks like 45 frames per second. But it's not a problem to me, but I'm used to 180 hertz. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we can do. And it's like grayed out up here. Like I can't go up to the graphics mode and change it. Maybe that's better. Oh yeah, it is a little bit better. Oh, dadgummit. Well, where are they? I'll murder them. Yes, this is a little better. It's still a little stuttery. I wouldn't suggest 12 chunks unless that's what you want. Is that really bad? Let's see. I mean, it doesn't look awful. Looks fine, I think. Okay, we need to go back west. Wow. Oh, I think I've seen this village actually. Yes, I have. I know exactly where this is. The town is that way. We'll go back there in just a second. Uh, 250 chunks? At least low key. That's not even a setting here. That sounds... yeah. It only goes to 28. Or do you mean 25 chunks? Just playing, I was about to say. It is definitely not quite as pretty as it was, but we have better frame rate, so I'm fine with that. We're going to fill in this last little chunk here, and then we'll go back to the town, and I can show you our town. Look at this lava. Wow. Okay. Look at this cool cave. Whoa. Why does it look like there's light in here? Oh, it's the little moss. Wow. Cool. Alright, let's head back. We can pretty much take the river all the way back to the town. PS5 struggling with Minecraft is a little crazy. Apparently, guess so. And see, exactly what I was worried was going to happen happened, which was I had to fix that technical issue, and then everybody left, and no one came back. Sad day. But yeah, this is, like I said, no, you shouldn't be sorry. You're the only one who's still here, monster. Like I said, this is a secret stream night, and secret streams are meant to be casual. I actually don't know where this river goes. It hooks north that way. And I don't need to go north. I need to go pretty much exactly east. "12 chunks is not very far. I'll say that. But the frame rate is better. Here's our town, monster. It doesn't have a name. We need a name for it. This is our town. That giant tower is Paul's giant tower. We have little paths that lead to the gates that Will built. Will does all these piston things, which I don't know how to do very well. So we have all our little houses, and so everybody in the town has their own little area. This is the Weiss's house. And this is like our farm thing. I can't remember whose house this is. I think this is Will's house. And this is our communal chest. So like everybody builds and mines, and they keep like stuff that they are really precious about in their own house. But then anything that like we're not super precious about, we just keep it all in the community chest together. And so we all just share. I get the feeling someone else does a lot of the building. I mean, everybody has done their own building here and there. This is mine. This is my house. And my house, like I said, I like mining. And so my house goes straight down. There's fire here. My house goes straight down, and down each side, each one of these tunnels is a different mine. And I haven't made a whole lot of progress in these mines in this world. But this is the diamond mine. It's pretty deep. I need some like elevator music. And so down here, I dig all the way down that way, and then I go over 2 blocks, and I come all the way back. Then I go over 2 blocks, and I go all the way back. And I go over 2 blocks, and I go all the way back. And I do that. A ladder is crazy work. It's the most efficient way to get down to the right level. And I like the little break that I get to take while I'm writing it. This is the diamond mine one. I have another one for iron on the iron level. And then I have another one for gold on the gold level. But I tried to make the most progress in the diamond mines. Even though like it really is not the most efficient way to get diamonds if that's what you're looking for. Because like the most efficient way to get diamonds is obviously to like go cave diving, to go spelunking. This is my top of the roof porch, but I don't like going. I mean, I do like going spelunking, but I can't listen to audiobooks whenever I do that very well, and so I do mining a lot. My friend Will, he built the farm back there that's automated. Water elevators are very easy to make and much faster. I've never thought about that. I should do that actually. Manuel, he's back. Will made the farm. Yo! Manual redeemed hydrate. I will. Will built the farm in the town that's like automated, but I didn't know how to use it, and Will wasn't online at the time, so I built this little ancillary farm, so that if for whatever reason the farm inside the town is loading, you can come out here to our cute little ancillary farm. Also, I was saying before with my TikTok that I've been posting for a while, but it hasn't taken off. I know it is the entirety of finding any kind of success online depends solely upon your ability to post 24/7 and a huge amount of luck. If you are not making content and posting basically as a full-time job, there's just no way. And the whole reason why you need to like make content and post basically as a full-time job is not because like producing more content makes it better or whatever. but because the real key to actually finding success on social media platforms is luck. You just are going to get lucky on some. Like, and literally, like, I've had videos that I've spent 3 hours editing, get 12 views, and clips that took me 10 seconds to pull out of a stream that got 2,000. And so you just never know what's going to be successful and what's not. And so because luck is the major, I have a video with 2.5 million views. That's crazy. I really feel like I'm not what people are looking for. Like I said, the major determining factor is luck. You just have to get lucky. And that's why posting so much is the main thing that you need to do, because the more that you post, the more chances that you have at getting lucky. That's all it is. At the same time, I mean, you do need to focus on like making quality content, and the content that you make, Manual, is very high quality. It's never like my kind of thing necessarily, because I'm not usually looking for that kind of fitness content. But that obviously has a huge market out there. You just haven't gotten in front of the right people, which is frustrating. That, you know, like I said, it just completely depends on luck. But yeah, I am. This most recent time I've been streaming, I would disagree. Posting consistently low quality content only tells the people in your community that your content isn't worth engaging with, and that tells your platforms. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying just post trash, but sometimes like relatively high quality content does not take a lot of like effort, quote unquote, to produce. Like, you don't have to edit it super nicely and put a bunch of music and like have different camera angles, and like all of that is great and works well. And like I would say, like it is a bigger determining factor in building an audience once you already have a little bit of an audience that you're starting to build. But the major determining factor is luck. Not the quality of content that you're producing. You will have a slightly better chance of getting lucky by producing high quality content, and whenever you do finally get lucky, people who start following you and watching your content are going to be more likely to watch more of it if it's high quality. So like definitely like quality is not something that you just throw out the window. However, it is not the foremost priority, and is not a huge determining factor in whether or not you find success creating online. Also, with the fitness content, I'm not what people are looking for. I'm a short black male without tats who looks average at best. What the hey, Manual? You are one of the most comely young men I have ever seen in my life. Don't speak such trash to yourself. Just the realness of it. Yeah, like I said, I don't think so necessarily. Yeah, I think, like I said, there are people out there who want to see what you're making. The content, the algorithm just has not yet figured out how to get your content in front of those people, because it doesn't have enough data points, because you're not getting enough views. And once you get lucky once or twice and you start getting more views, and the algorithm has a chance to be like, oh, I see, these kinds of people are the kinds of people that like Manual's content, then it'll start putting your content in front of people. But like until then, you just have to languish and hope that you get lucky, which is a shitty way of like making content. Like I don't, that's dumb and bad, and it's not a thing that I think people should pursue. And so frankly, like this most recent time with me streaming more, I'm playing Minecraft right now, which I know like people are not going to find super entertaining. I know people are not going to find just watching me walk around this map, filling in the map. People are not going to find that super entertaining. I don't care. I like doing that. I like playing Minecraft this way, and if people don't find this entertaining, they can freak off. And so with this most like recent time getting more into streaming again, I always get really burnt out because I get frustrated by lack of success. And okay, it is just a void. What is this? I get frustrated by a lack of success, and this most recent time, I'm just not giving a shit about any of that. Like, I'm not streaming to be successful. I'm not even streaming to make clips. I am streaming semi-regularly because I like streaming. Like, I like to get have these conversations with you guys. Wild language. Okay, excuse me. I like getting to have these conversations with you guys. So I like to stream, pretty regularly. But I'm also just I'm playing games that I like to play. I'm not chasing things that are super popular. I'm not trying to think what can I do to make the stream more successful, or what can I do to get people to watch, because there's nothing that you can do that's going to make people watch more. And so if you just stick to doing something that you like doing and stick to creating content that is just easy for you to create because it's a part of just how you enjoy spending your time and living your life. If you stick to content like that, then it'll be easy for you to make more of it. You'll get burnt out not as quickly. And you'll be able to make content for longer and give yourself a bigger chance of getting lucky. Or maybe not. Like I said, I'm not even worried about getting lucky. I'm just playing Minecraft because I like playing Minecraft tonight. And I've been playing Pokemon Nuzlocke. I know nobody's going to want to watch a freaking Nuzlocke. Ooh, there's stuff over here. Someone has been here. But I enjoy playing it, so I've been playing it. And if I stop enjoy playing it, I'll just stop playing it. Then find something to make you worth engaging with. If you accept the reality that you're not interesting enough in itself to hold audience, then make your content interesting. Another point you should consider: we as viewers hold perception bias. We only see content that's doing well, so you feel by comparison that you yourself are doing bad. We don't see the 10 videos that got 500 views. Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with that. And so I also I don't know. My I don't know about advice. I'm not saying my advice is, but my plan right now is to just have fun streaming. So that's what I'm doing. And it's been nice. It's actually been kind of refreshing and relaxing. And honestly, I feel like my content is more successful now that I give less of a crap about it. Now that I'm less precious with it, I think it makes me feel more genuine and authentic. I don't know. A village, I think. I wonder if this one has been plundered. Ooh, it looks like they haven't found this one yet. That's nice. That's a good mindset. Placing too much value on the perception of others online isn't healthy. Wanting the validation of your work is natural, but feeling yourself lesser without it isn't. Yeah. And like I could care less about like people's approval online or whatever. Like this most recent one that is kind of a couple of TikToks that I made that are kind of popping off. It's funny, like there are like haters in the TikToks being like, these guys are laughing too much. What they're watching isn't even funny. Like, who cares about that? Like, I'm not. I find that kind of stuff funny. Whenever people are dumb online like that. So I could care less that like people will approve or disapprove of me. I just wish that, or I guess like I could care less if people disapprove. I just want, and I am confident that there are people out there who will approve more if they saw my content. I just feel like I'm not being given the chance for those people to see my content. Perhaps there's a chance I'm noticing in you change. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not introspective enough for that, finally. Look, this village is actually vibrant and alive because they haven't coaled it. Those monsters. Kitty cat. Monster, what have you been up to, buddy? In the time since we've seen you. Do you work? Do you have a job? Are you going to school? What are you doing? That's not true. You're one of the most intellectual, honest, and engaging people I've dealt with in the past. Oh, wow. I'm bad at taking compliments, and so that is disgusting. But I will say thank you. It's always nice to have people who are in the chat. True dat. Okay, freaks, shut the fuck up. I mean, shut the hell up. Whoops. Look at this cave, dog. It's always super nice to have people in the chat to bounce off of, because what? sorry. It's always nice to have people in the chat to bounce off of, because like I have been doing a thing where I've been monologuing even whenever there's nobody in the chat, so that should people like stop in and be like, oh, this is interesting, what's going on in this stream, they don't just see me like sitting here like playing the game like this. They come in and they actually hear me like talking about something that they might be interested in. And so I've been doing this like monologuing stuff just to fill dead air, and that is tough. That is so hard to just try to like have the energy to talk a lot, even whenever there's nobody in chat to bounce off of. Your mama know you're cursing like that. I did accidentally say the F word in front of my mom the other day. And it was funny, we just like neither of us acknowledged it. I mean, I acknowledge it, but we just moved on really quickly. I can't remember what I was talking about, but I just said it. I was like, and that's not even their effing business. And I was like, oh, excuse me, I mean freaking business, and just moved on and kept on talking. And she never acknowledged it. Look at this cave! Look at this cave! Where does it go? Wow. Cool. So yes, my mama does know I'm cursing like that. Since Calvary, I very much like have... Okay, can I get out, please? How do I... Okay, this is crazy. I can't... Oh, for the love of God! Thank God! To answer your... Alright, Sir Knight, Manual, no! See you later, buddy. To answer your question, no, I'm not doing anything particularly interesting in my life. I have continued to engage in intellectual conversations to further my interests of philosophy, but beyond that, I have remained rather stagnant. I don't know if you'd call it stagnant. It's okay for you to just have a slow period in your life where you're not up to a lot. Are you still in high school? Have you graduated, Monster? And what kind of philosophy are you interested in? I wish Paul was back in the chat. Paul's the... Whoa! Look at this cool thing! I wish Paul was in the chat. Paul's more like the philosopher guy. I don't know enough philosophy. Like the technical aspects. Or like the people like Kant and Hegel and Heidemacher. Ow. Wow. Look at this cool cave. Oh no, let's not go down there. There's a lot of monsters down there. But that's a cool cave. I like that cave. Graduated homeschooling a time ago. Ooh. Haven't attended traditional schooling in many years. Homeschooling is interesting. I attended for pretty much my entire education. Attended and graduated from a small private school. And the curriculum that we used in the private school was also used by homeschoolers. And so I was always like kind of around those who have been homeschooled. And I've always been interested by like there's always such a weird range of people who get homeschooled. You either are homeschooled and like the whole reason why you started getting homeschooled is because you couldn't cut it in public school, and so your parents were like, okay, well, we're just gonna homeschool him. And so you have like one category of homeschool kids that are like know nothing and are like behavioral issues or whatever, and then you have another category of homeschool kids whose parents were like, no, public school is not rigorous enough for my student. He must have even higher education, and they give their kids like an insanely deep and detailed torches. Somebody's been here. Whoa. Somebody lit this place up. They have like a super detailed and nuanced education. And that is the bipolarity of homeschool students. You are either an unconscionable idiot or one of the most intelligent people on the planet. And from my conversations with you, Monster, it sounds like you fall into the latter category. Cool. Being philosophical isn't as interesting as it's perceived in a kind of way, it's largely about emotional intelligence and largely about your cognitive ability to understand many perspectives and challenge common narratives. Yeah, that makes sense. Although I don't know how many people, I don't know. Maybe like to the average person, philosophy feels kind of stuffy. You said it was like not as interesting as it's perceived, but I don't know that a whole lot of people perceive it as like an interesting field. And they should, because it's kind of crazy the way that like we don't acknowledge or recognize commonly as a society. I guess we still got a while before. What is happening? TikTok is messing up. No, don't end. Why? I don't know why TikTok does that. It's very weird. I guess I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, it's kind of crazy the way that we don't recognize or acknowledge the way that like all of our framework for like interpreting the world and everything in it and like our relationships with people, like none of it is new. Like we inherited all of it from thinkers who influenced and shaped culture like in the past. And like I said, people don't oh god. I don't know why I didn't just do this earlier. People don't recognize or acknowledge that fact too often. Like they tend to think like the way that they think and perceive the world is either like the quote unquote normal way. Like just the idea that like just the idea that like the world is round is completely predicated upon philosophical ideas of like the ability to even measure the natural properties of objects in the universe. Like we place our faith and trust in the fact that if I measure that a given object is 2 feet long, it is in reality 2 feet long. When that whole methodology for understanding the world and interpreting what we experience in the world is a framework that was handed down to us by philosophers in the past, great thinkers of the past. Within the framework of the opposing reasons for leaving homeschool, I would fit in the middle. I left because I couldn't handle the stress. Equally, leaving gave me the freedom to pursue my own interests, which furthered my education. Correction from high school, our school in general. That's cool. Like I said, public school is not always for everybody. That's my biggest criticism of a lot of public education, even though I think public education is great and is a tremendous resource and necessity for our society. In our extremely capitalistic society, our homeschool, our public school programs are really largely designed to make people more effective workers instead of more independent thinkers. And therefore, they instill a degree of like homogeneity in the public and population, and have rigorously like standardized methods of teaching and testing. And humans don't work that way. And so sometimes like public school can be really rigid like that, and people who don't fit into the box that public school builds, they need to find alternatives like private school or homeschool. So I think that's totally understandable. Whoa! That was close. How am I supposed to get across this? I had a similar debate recently. How can we define factual reality when our perception of reality is so limited by our physical biology? 100%. Limited by our physical biology, but like even like our obviously is limited by our physical biology, but our ability to like comprehend and understand things, like there are truths of the universe, like the most basic truths of the universe are so far outside of our scope of perception that it's really difficult to say that we understand any of those basic building blocks of the universe in any way at all. Like atoms and the way that they interact with each other is so contradictory to the normal ways that we perceive the world that our brains just like don't have mental frameworks for it, for thinking about the world in that way. And so because we can't understand the world like on its most basic fundamental levels, even physically, it prevents us from being able to understand the world in more complex ways. But at the same time, like we obviously have a hugely nuanced and complex understanding of the world. And so in some ways we are really restricted and limited by our physical perception, but in a lot of other ways our intelligence and individuality are unique things in the universe that give us a perspective on the universe that the universe could never have on itself. There's this really great poem. There was this great documentary from the Oscar-nominated documentaries about this poet. I can't even remember their name. But they had cancer, and they ended up dying after the documentary. Like whenever the documentary ends, they're still alive. But they died after the documentary, and their documentary lost, unfortunately. Even though their documentary was really incredible. I guess we'll take this river south and see what's that way. But that poet, and I'm going to butcher the poem, but she describes like being awed and incredible, and like thinking how awesome and incredible the universe is, and being in awe of huge cosmological structures like planets and galaxies and nebulae. And she personifies the cosmos and like nebulae speaking back to the person, being awed and amazed at the person's like ability to feel and think and see and reason and understand. Like we uphold like these huge incomprehensible parts of the universe in such high esteem and regard, but like even those almost infinitely enormous and complex systems in the universe can't match the level of like complexity that our own human consciousness is capable of. And for all their grandeur, like they have no ability to be profound. Like humans are profound, and they look at nebulae and they read profound meaning into them, but they're just gas in space, and without human intelligence and consciousness and interpretation, that's all they ever will be. And so what's the more impressive? The gas in space, or human intelligence that can observe in the gas signs of the divine? That is wild. And I need to pull up her poem because it's really great. I should read it. School, whether intentionally or not, is built to functionally support the multitude of learning styles needed for children and varying young adults. It's quite common for people to simply be unable to internalize and engage with content they aren't interested in. I am one of them. That's what I'm saying. Like you having a difficult time engaging with content that doesn't interest you is a unique and specific learning style that schools, if they were better designed, should be able to accommodate for. We're going to make a little hole here. Because I want to read this poem real quick. Let's see here. This poem, Andrea Gibson was her name. And this poem is called Tincture. It's actually got misunderstood how serious it is. I can't speak for everyone. That would be disingenuous. But for me personally, I have a natural, incredibly strong aversion to subjects or projects I'm not interested in. I typically can't even look at it without feeling just angry. That is difficult. I'm going to read the whole thing. This is called Tincture by Andrea Gibson. I wish I could read it in the right cadence. I don't know what the meter is. Imagine when a human dies. The soul misses the body, actually grieves. The loss of its hands and all they could hold, misses the throat, closing shy, reading out loud in the first day of school. Imagine the soul misses the stubbed toe, the loose tooth, the funny bone. The soul still asks, why does the funny bone do that? It's just weird. Imagine the soul misses the thirsty garden cheeks, watered by grief, misses how the body could sleep through a dream. What else can sleep through a dream? What else can laugh? What else can wrinkle the smile's autograph? Imagine the soul misses each falling eyelash waiting to be a wish, missing the wrist screaming away the blade. The soul misses the lisp, the stutter, the limp. The soul misses the holy bruise, blue from that army of blood rushing to the wound's side. When a human dies, the soul searches the universe for something blushing, something shaking in the cold. Something that scars, sweeps the universe for patience worn thin. The last nerve fighting for its life, the voice box aching to be heard, the soul misses the way. The body would hold another body and not be two bodies, but one, pleading God doubled in grace. The soul misses how the mind told the body, "You have fallen from grace," and the body said, "Erase every scripture that doesn't have a pulse." There isn't a single page in the Bible that can wince, that can clumsy, that can freckle, that can hunger. Imagine the soul misses hunger, emptiness, rage, the first that was never taught to curl, curled, the teeth that were never taught to clench, clenched. The body that was never taught to make love, made love. Like a hungry ghost digging its way out of the grave, the soul misses the unforever of old age, the skin that no longer fits. The soul misses every single day. The body was sick. The now it forced the here. It built from the fever. Fever is how the body prays, how it burns and begs from another average day. The soul misses the legs creaking up the stairs, misses the fear that climbed up the vocal cords to curse the wheelchair. The soul misses what the body could not let go. What else could hold on that tightly to everything? What else could see here the chain of a swing set and fall to its knees? The soul misses what the body could not let go. What else could hold on that tightly to everything? What else could hear the chain of a swing set and fall to its knees? What else could touch a screen door and taste lemonade? What else could come back from a war and not come back, but still try to live? Still try to lullaby? When a human dies, the soul moves through the universe trying to describe how a body trembles when it's lost, softens when it's lost, softens when it's safe, how a wound would heal, given nothing but time. Do you understand? Nothing in space can imagine it. No comet, no nebula, no ray of light can fathom the landscape of all the heart. Do you understand? Nothing in space can imagine it. No comet, no nebula, no ray of light can fathom the landscape of awe, the heat of shame, the fingertips pulling the first gray hair and throwing it away. I can't imagine it, say the stars. Tell us again about goosebumps. Tell us again about pain. Yeah, man. Andrea Gibson, highly recommend. Come See Us in the Good Light was, Come See Me in the Good Light, I think is the name of it. I can't remember. Devastating. It was so sad. And it made me appreciate poetry in a way that I don't usually. Oh, crap. I don't want to have to fight this witch. Come on. Come on. I can. I can. Oh yeah, we're in trouble now. Oh god. Okay, killing the skeleton. Surely that's good enough now. Come on. Been hitting the gym? That's exciting. What are you doing at the gym? What's your, like, how often are you going, and are you, like, switching it up? Like, arms one day, legs another day? Or are you just kind of doing what you feel like doing? And are you dieting? Because I never know, like, I don't know. I always go back and forth between, like, trying to eat enough to, like, gain muscle. Oh, come on. Trying to eat enough to, like, gain muscle, but also trying to, like, lose weight. And that's always a difficult balance to strike. Three times a week for the last 2 years for heavy weightlifting. Those two are basically non-functional together. Huh? 3 times a week is pretty decent. That's pretty good. Do you feel like you've been making progress? Going to the gym have for the last like 5 or 6 months been like hitting all the machines that I usually hit, and then at the beginning of each month I go up in weight or up in reps, or sometimes both, depending on how I feel. And so I'm constantly like making improvements, lifting more and more, which has been really satisfying. I've liked it a lot. Why is this gray on the map? Strong as shit. Wow. That's exciting. Didn't realize that I was basically hiking up a mountain. I don't feel like you often just see like stone like this. It's a lot of iron. Whoa. Cool. Ricola. That's what you're supposed to do at the top of mountains. Deadlifting 380? Good God. Yeah, that's a lot. Look at this cool cave. Ow. Ow. Almost got it. Like, the part probably moved a slice of an inch. That's funny. I don't know how much I can lift, like what my max is, because I'm always too scared to like deadlift or bench press without somebody there to spot me. That always freaks me out. And I haven't. I always go to the gym by myself, and so I haven't gotten anybody to go with me yet. But I need to, so that I can like figure out what my max is. Because I bet I could bench. Right now, I'm doing chest press, and I'm doing 5 sets of 10 at 180 pounds, is like 200 pounds. And I bet I could bench 250, 300. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I can bench. I don't deadlift train. Uh, I don't, like I said, I have no a frame of reference for how much I can actually lift, but I feel like if I can do 5 sets of 180 pounds, which is almost 200 pounds, then I would be able to bench 50 more pounds than that. And so would be able to bench like 250. But I don't know. I guess like bench press is a lot different than like just a chest press. All right, let's head back, I think. I think we're gonna wrap things up here. Five sets of 10 on 180 on not bench, on chest press. So it's like, you know, the machine where you just, I mean, it's basically like a bench press, but it's like a chest press. But yeah, 5 sets of 10 at 180. I went from 160 to 180 at the beginning of March. So I was doing 160 before. Not anyway close to a bench press. I have a lot of experience. I guess not. I have almost no experience. Oh, hey, I'm back over here. One thing I want to do... Actually, let's do that real quick. I think I've satisfied the demands that the TikTok app makes before I can actually capture gameplay footage. Let's see what happens. Okay. What the heck? Ugh. Unlock this feature by going live on Studio one more time for 25 minutes each. Mobile live does not count. Oh, validation may take up to 48 hours? Good God. Oh, wow. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, TikTok is dumb, and it makes you go live 3 times before you can do like a display capture. And in order to go live on TikTok, like if I just went live on TikTok, then I could do it fine. But to go live on TikTok and other platforms, I need to like the capture card that's capturing the PlayStation cannot be being actively used by both OBS and TikTok's stupid live studio that they use. I can't just go live to TikTok from OBS, which is so dumb. But so my capture card cannot be seen from both TikTok and TikTok's live studio and OBS. And so I have to, in OBS, create like an output projector that TikTok can capture. And once I've done that, then I can stream all of this stuff to like Twitch and to YouTube, but then also stream the gameplay to TikTok as well. Don't want to get blown up here. Ow. I know I've been live on TikTok. Farmer's walk. What? A good way to train in the gym is the farmer's walk. What is a farmer's walk? Whoa. Leave me alone. You hold heavy dumbbells in both hands and walk to one end of the gym and back. Oh, I do basically that, but I call it like grocery walking because I take like kettlebells and I'll carry like 2 30-pound kettlebells in each hand and walk from one end of the gym to the other, do a squat, put the kettlebells on the ground, stand up, do another squat, pick them up, and then walk back. So I basically do that already. Get up to like 75 pounds each in your hand, you're golden. Okay. I will eventually get there, I hope. Probably. I would love for it to not be nighttime anymore. I changed my mind. Make it 250 pounds? Yeah, sure. I'll get right on that. There's Paul's tower. We're almost there. Been nice catching up. Need to go to sleep. I'm going to lurk. That's fine, buddy. I'm wrapping up here in the next 20 minutes or so. Anyways, oh, I gotta eat. But yeah, it was good catching up. Oh yeah, sorry. I forgot. I call everybody that. Okay. Excellent. And then this one can go here. Ta-da! Wow. It's a little over a ninth. That's exciting. Alright, so long, buddies. See you next time.